Well, hello everyone. This is Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, NAODS.com. And in today's lesson, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to call it phoneography or photo editing on your phone. Being from the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, I like to go into all kinds of digital editing and digital scrapbooking, whether it be Photoshop Elements or any other kind of application that there is out there. So the ones that I have been working with lately have been Photoshop Express and Snapseed, which I really love those two. Now they're in the upper right hand corner, Snapseed and Photoshop Express. And the two next to it, I haven't used a whole lot, but I will be talking a little bit about them, is PhotoSync and AutoStitch. So I'll probably have another class and going a little bit more in detail on those two. But right now we're going to be focusing on just the Snapseed and Photoshop Express. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the Play Store. So over here to the left hand side right here it says Play Store, or you go to your apps. Those of you who are kind of phone savvy, let's say, I'm actually not very phone savvy, but there is an app store. So on your phone you should have either an apps or maybe even a Play Store. And if I go into the Play Store, I am going to, it's weird that this Angry Birds thing comes up because I don't need to install that, but let's just see if I can go back in here to this other screen. Okay, perfect. Maybe I clicked too many times. Snapseed. Okay, now you can do Snapseed, I believe, for Mac or for the iPhone or for the Android. So mine is an Android, so I'm going to put in Snap. As soon as you put in Snap, it should probably go ahead and pull up the other things that are associated with it. And so it's coming up with Snapseed Nick software. And I've done a class on Nick software before, and it's sort of similar to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on Snapseed, and it will be installing. I'm not going to click on it because it is already installed, but what you would do is install Snapseed. Okay? So it's going to take you a little while to install that, but it should then appear on your phone, either your iPhone or your Android. The other one that I like to use is called Photoshop Express. So I'm going to go back into my little search area and I'm going to type in Photoshop, and then Express should pop up. So I'm going to click on Photoshop Express. It'll look similar to this icon here on the left, the PS blue icon. Mine is already installed, so I will not reinstall it. I just wanted to show you how to install those two apps on your phone, just in case you didn't know how to. All right, so what we're going to be doing is working with Snapseed and Photo Express. So I already have photos inside of my camera. But if you were to click on Snapseed on your phone, you just click on it, it will go ahead and pull up a sample image. And then what you can do is you can kind of practice. See these things on the bottom here? If you click and drag throughout these right here, then you'll see all the different options. Okay, so there's vintage, there's HDR scape, there's grunge, there's center focus, there's tilt shift, frames, all kinds of things. So if I click on frames, I will get this other screen that will go ahead and show me what kind of frames they are. This right here will bring up more additional frames. So if you click on that, it will pop up right alongside that bottom row there. And on your phone you might be able to see it a little bit better, but you can scroll through them by taking your index finger and clicking, or pointer finger, and clicking and dragging throughout some of those frames. Now it's taken a little bit extra time because I am hooked up to my computer to my Android, which is pretty darn cool in itself, but I'm just going to go ahead and pick one of these frames and see what it does to that sample image. So all kinds of really cool frames you can pick from to add to your picture. Okay, so now let's just say we like that frame and we want to go ahead and click on the check mark in the bottom right hand corner. There is a little check mark. Go ahead and click on check mark, and it will go ahead and apply that to your photo, and it will probably bring up a little processing bar. Now once we have that frame, we can go ahead and maybe do a little grunge effect to it. So I click on the grunge icon right here and see what it does there. Now this is super cool, and you have to play around with it a little bit, but you can take your finger and push it on your phone from the middle of the actual picture itself, and you'll see this little style thing pop up in the on the top. It's not really popping up on the screen here for some reason, but all I'm doing is taking my pointer finger, clicking from the middle, and I'm just trying out different variants styles. So you can make it really dark in the middle if you want to, and also, this is kind of cool, when I click and hold down on my finger here, I can get style, I can get brightness. I have to it's really kind of tough to go through these different ones, but you just hold your pointer finger down over the top, and then it will kind of toggle between each of these different selections here, the drop downs. So on my phone, I do see brightness is selected. I selected brightness, and now I can come in there and I make it really bright, or dim it down a little bit by just clicking and dragging with my finger. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of practice. If I click and hold on the picture, it will then bring up the drop down. So click and hold, and then when you move your finger up and down, you should be able to select different things from that drop down. So now I just selected saturation. You didn't see it on the screen, but I selected saturation, and I can go in there and with my finger click and drag throughout just to get me a different saturation. I'm pulling it to the bottom left hand corner, and it takes all the color out. Anyway, that is super duper cool. So let's just say that we wanted to use one of our own photos that we took, not this, not the trees in the desert here, but one of our own photos. So in the upper right hand corner, there's a little camera with a plus sign, right? Camera with a plus sign. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say open image. All changes will be lost. Tap open to open a new image. Okay, so it's saying that we didn't save that last one, which is totally fine because we didn't need to. We were just kind of demonstrating there. So now I'm going to go with open, and you can take a photo at this point, or you can choose a photo from your camera. So most of you are probably going to click on choose a photo. All right. Now let me just show you some of these pictures that I did with these cool apps. So love that one. I really wish I would have wrote down everything that I did to this. I put a frame on it. I put some grunge on it. I might have done a little bit of HDR on that, but I just absolutely love that one. That's so super cool. Let me see if I can't pull up another photo here so I can show you the other ones that looked super cool. This one looked pretty cool. This was taken at Vegas, and I just added a couple filters on it, and it looks fantastic, I think. It looks pretty darn cool. Let's just choose another photo. Oh, I love this one too. This one turned out really cool too. Let me see if I can't turn my, oh wow, oops, okay. This is the first time I've ever used this type of software that takes my phone and puts it on my computer. It's pretty cool. So this one's pretty cool too. Actually, I think working this way might be even better. So you can rotate your phone, and then you will have it panoramic. So pretty darn cool. So let's just go ahead and pull up a photo that hasn't had any kind of adjusting to it. So let's go in here. Let's see what kind of photos I have to choose from. I just got back from Photoshop World, so had such a great time. So I have some pictures from Photoshop World. Let's do, you know what we're going to do is we're going to pull up that same picture, only a little bit close up. So there it is as is. So we haven't applied any kind of photo filters to it. So what I'm going to do is over to the left hand side, I'm going to go into let's see. Let's go into, I'm just scrolling up and down on the left-hand side there with my finger on my phone, okay? And I'm going to go into HDRscape. Okay, HDRscape, it's right down here. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm inside of my phone, and it should, there it goes. It goes ahead and gives it that HDR look. Isn't that the coolest? I love this. Okay, then you can go in there and you can make it stronger if you want to by clicking it and clicking on with your finger to the right hand side. So I'm just giving it a strength filter of plus 100. I think that's pretty cool looking. I'm going to go ahead and click on the check mark to OK it. All right. Click on, there we go. Processing takes a little bit of time. And I can add more stuff to it if I want to. So if I want to go back down and get my frames, I'm just going to scroll down to my frames on the left-hand side there. Click on frames. And then remember, you have to click on this icon right here in order to it to pop up the frames that you can choose from. All right, so it will take a few seconds for it to pop up. I'm going to choose one of these frames. That one looks fantastic. I'm going to click on the check mark on the bottom right hand corner. Perfect. There we go. It should be processing right about now. Fantastic. And then I can add more and more and more. So here's like a vintage one. Let's go into vintage. It gives it kind of a little bit of a hazy look. I don't know if I like that, but we'll go for it. And then click on OK on the check mark. And then once you're done, this is really important. Once you're done and you like it, you have to save it. Look at this little arrow in the upper right hand corner. It looks like a little arrow with another little bin on the bottom. You click on that. It's going to say saving image, and it will save it into your phone. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and get another photo. So I clicked on this camera. I'm going to choose photo. You can take a photo at this point too, but I always have them, I usually just have them in my folder there, and then I pick them later. So let's just see what we have here. I'm going to do a photo of, I wish I had a really good, let me just try this photo. This is interesting. This is a photo of some cookies that my cousin had at her party, and I thought they were gorgeous. I know she paid a lot for these cookies. They're gorgeous. So let's just kind of play around with this picture. I didn't even eat any. I thought they were too pretty to eat. So I'm going to go into HDR again to see what I can come up with that. It's a little bit of lag time, but you'll probably see, there we go. I'm going to click on the check mark, and let's go in and check and see if maybe we can go to black and white. Over here to the left, you see black and white. Turns it into black and white. It's not nearly as pretty as it could be, but remember, you can click and hold on your screen, click and drag in one direction or the other. If you go to the left, it's going to get darker. If you go to the right, it's going to get lighter. If you go down, you also can do contrast and grain. If you see where I'm going to click and hold my finger on the keyboard itself, we can move it down. Let's see, it's not showing up on your screen for some reason, but if you click and hold on your keyboard, on your phone, it will bring up a little panel that says brightness, contrast, and grain. Okay, it didn't show up on there for some reason, but you can do that as well. If you don't like it, you just click on the bottom left-hand corner where there's an X, and it will X that last one out. Let's go with details and see what details gives us. So over here to the left, you see details. You click on that, and then let's just sharpen it. Let's just sharpen the heck out of it. So I'm clicking on my phone, pushing it to the right, and sharpening it. Okay, you can kind of see where it's sharpened plus 100. You can also bring it down if you want to. So I'm going back to maybe 72 or 43. You can go back and forth there. See right here where it tells you. All of this is done with my finger though. I'm going to click on the check mark in the bottom right hand corner, and it's going to process it. It's going to take it then into my little bin then. Drama, let's check out drama. I'm clicking on drama right now over here to the left hand side, and we can play around with that too. The filter. Remember, you can always click and drag from the middle to the right hand side, it gives you plus. If you click and drag to the left hand side, it's going to go smaller. So I just did from 100 to 30. Click on OK. And let's go ahead and save it. So I'm going to go to this icon right here. Click on that. There we go. Saving image. And then if we want to, we can go back to our home page. Well, it's not really our home page, but now we can go into our camera. So I clicked on camera. Oops. And then I'm going to go into my photos. So I'm double clicking on my photos. And then actually, you know what? Let's go back to, yeah, here we go. Into our albums there. There we go. So now where it says Snapseed or Photo Express, you see it down here. For some reason it puts them into folders down there. So if you can't find your photos, go in there and then see how I click on that Snapseed, and then over here to the right, this is the ones that we just worked on. Okay, so this one right here, I click on that, the cookies, and then I can scroll through them. Now I'm going to scroll over to the doggy and the boy, my baby, both of my babies, and there they are. Okay, so it puts them into those folders automatically. Hopefully that's what it does on your end as well. So let's go back to the home page on my camera and let's check out Photoshop Express. I'm going to click on Photoshop Express. It's going to go ahead in. It's going to ask me, do you want to open from Adobe Reveal or take a picture or open from gallery? Now 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to open from gallery, so I'm going to click on open from gallery. And then I can go back in and let's just go into my photos. And I'm going to bring up maybe this picture right here. I was in San Diego recently and this was super duper cool. This is a huge statue. And let's just go through this. Now I actually like is it Snapseed? Yeah, Snapseed better. But you've got all these different options to choose from. Look at on the right hand side. If you scroll on with your finger on your phone, now I believe both of these come for the iPhone and for the Android, so you should be able to download them, but this gives it a little bit of a haze. We got oh goodness, Misty. That's kind of cool, interesting looking. So I click on Misty. There we go. We go, let's just check out, scrolling up and down on this bar here. You can scroll it this way or that way, whichever way you want to. Here's one that says glow, which might be a little interesting. So I'm going to click on glow. This may not be the best photo for it, but this gives you an idea of what you can do. You can turn it into black and white. You could turn it into bright. There's cinematic. Now when you get something that has a little money sign in the upper right hand corner, I'm not really sure what's going to happen when I click on it. Okay, that's what's going to happen. It says you're going to have to purchase it. Okay, so if it has a little money sign in the upper right hand corner, I'll show you right about here, that means you're probably going to have to purchase that. I haven't tried any of those, but most of them don't have that little money sign, so you should be good. So I'm going to go back in and turn it to haze because I kind of like the way it gives that back glow back there. And then again, let's just see here. Let's turn it up this way. I'm going to save it. So in the upper left-hand corner, I'm going to go and hit on that upper left-hand corner. There's a little caret there. It says Save Your Edits. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. And then it's saved into that folder, and it should be in the Photoshop Express folder. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to save it there, so you have to kind of be patient. Image has been saved to the gallery. See down here where it says that? All right, so now here it says Photoshop Express 9. So if I click on those guys, that is where you can find that picture that I just did right here. So I'm going to click on that so that you can see it up close. And now we can open that one up. Okay, so kind of play around with it. You see that there are other things down here in the bottom you can crop You can take red eye away. There are frames that you can also put on there. So let's just put borders. Let's click on that icon right here. We've got a bevel. We've got vignette. So if you want to vignette it, you can vignette it. We also have normal. We have bevel. And you can scroll through those by taking your finger, pushing it to the left-hand side. We also have a circle white frame. I never even noticed that before. And then we have a black frame right next to it. Pretty interesting. We also have horizontal frames and vertical frames. I'm kind of going through these pretty quickly. That one looks pretty good considering the photo itself. But there are lots of cool frames in here. Look at this one. Wood frame here. Redwood. The old time frame. Okay, so the old time frame. That looks like that's about it as far as the frames are going. Oh, here's some edges, some crazy edges. So if you notice here, if you click on the edges, little area right here, edges, and let's see, edge stroke, maybe this one here, the film. Yeah, this one looks all right. So let's just pretend we're good with that. Should be able to go ahead and save that in the upper left hand corner. Do you want to save changes? Yes, I want to save changes, and then it should go into your folder. So those two applications I really like. I'm probably going to be doing another class maybe on the auto stitching and putting those together. So basically with the auto stitching, I believe, because I haven't used it very much, but let's just go back there and take a look. The auto stitch is this one here. I'm going to click on that. And I did this in my hotel room when I was in San Diego. The one at the top, it says Pano #1. But let's see here, shoot panorama. So the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to go ahead and click on shoot panorama. And I'm going to say okay. And then I'm in my office right now. So I'm going to, I don't even know if you can see this on, but I'm going to take a couple pictures and try to lace them together. I don't think you can see this though. It's this black screen on yours. But I'm going to take one picture and then another picture. And then let's just see if those will show up. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back into my screen here. Oopsie. Let's see here. Let's go back to my home page. Click on Auto Stitch. Oh, cool. Okay, let's see what happens here. It's taking my photos that I just took and it interlaced them together. Fantastic. Check it out. So that's my office there. So now what I'm going to do, this is auto stitch. Let's crop it. So I click on crop down here where there was a cropping symbol. I just clicked on it with my finger, and then I can crop it however I need to. I'm trying to like move this. There we go. Move it up if you want to, or move it down. So that looks pretty good. Looks like it's going to keep that auto stitch logo in the bottom. You might have to pay for it. This is a free download. So I just click on crop and then crop in the bottom right hand corner, and then it will go ahead and crop it for me. I believe it's going to save it then. Let's go back to my screen there. So I clicked on the little arrow that pointed back, and now I have two panos. Pano 1 for my hotel room in San Diego. And I'm going to click on back, and then panorama #2 actually is for my office that I just took now. Pretty cool stuff. So if any of you out there have any other really cool phone apps that you want me to teach you, or if that you know, then I would love to play around with that. I will probably talk about PhotoSync once I get to know that a little bit better, but it basically takes all your photos from your phone and it uploads it to your desktop, I believe. So PhotoSync, if you wanted to download that and kind of play around with it, I just want to get my photos off of my phone and make sure that they're secured. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and take a look at our site at naods.com. We always have free classes that you can take. If you have any questions, or if you want to let me know what you want to learn in the future, just let me know. You can go to info info@naods.com, and I'd be happy to help you. This has been Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.